Hello, hello. Oh, this is kind of high, a little short. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lansing Everett High School inaugural Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We are so happy to have you here. My name is Latoya Turner. I am the chairperson for our Sports Hall of Fame committee, and it has been an honor in starting this up for our high school and our community. So, thank you. So now that we've had our inductees seated, we are going to get our program started. So I will introduce one of our MCs, Ms. Gwendolyn Bodiford, who is an assistant principal here at Everett High School. So let's give a round of applause for Ms. Gwendolyn Bodiford.
Wow, good afternoon. I'd love to say good afternoon, Vikings. If I said that, what kind of response would I get? Good afternoon, Vikings. All right, I need to take care of one housekeeping task first, and that is if you have your phones, would you mute them, please, because it's being recorded, and we want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So, I'm honored and excited to welcome and introduce you to the inaugural installation of Everett High School's Athletic Hall of Fame 2023. The theme is Hands Across Time. It's perfect for what we've come together today to accomplish. When Lansing Everett first opened its doors in 1959, and I dare say it's younger than I am, a foundation that is rich in pride, legacy, talent, and academic achievement was established. Today, at this premier event, we're establishing a tradition to permanently install, recognize, and celebrate those student athletes, coaches, teams, and athletic directors who have exhibited excellence at Everett High School and throughout this entire community. They each have demonstrated commitment, drive, and a dedication to high performance and supereminence. Their diligence has created and maintained an even higher standard for leadership and integrity, unwavering loyalty, and purpose. If we go no further, please give them a hand for all that they stand for. Everett Viking sportspersons across generations have and will continue to have influence, involvement, leadership statewide, nationally, and globally. Each of the inductees today strives to be outstanding as they represent a bridge connecting the past, the present, and affecting the future. They serve to represent the best of the best and give current young people and families a blueprint for success. They've achieved this by expecting greatness in themselves while never stopping until that greatness shines as a beacon for future stars to come. Representation matters. You know, many people see sports as a social phenomena where a community of peoples can gather together, cheer on athletes that they know, or support a school or program that's dear to them. Sports, however, have proven themselves to be much more. They are a vehicle and tool to bind together a community, to provide a breeding ground for student success and growth across cultural and economic divides, a way to level the playing field of life, a teaching environment for not just sports skills, but also for life skills. And certainly, they boost not only self-pride, but community pride. The 2023 Everett High School Sports Hall of Fame inductees reset the standard of excellence while passing the baton on to the next generation. Representation matters. In this spirit, the members of Everett High School's Hall of Fame committee came together to establish a Hall of Fame for Everett High School athletes. All the committee members have been touched by the fervor that's exuded by not only the inductees, but the teams and the exhilaration experienced in athletic competitive atmospheres. Win, lose, or draw, every encounter produces an adrenaline rush and a high hope of victory. That victory is a victory for life, a victory for personal growth, a victory not only for physical attainment, but mental prowess and communal pride. Victory because representation matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Hands Across Time, the inaugural induction of Everett High School's Sports Hall of Fame for 2023. At this time, I'm so very, very pleased to share the duties of introducing the first Everett Viking Sports Hall of Fame inductees with a woman who has touched and directed the lives of thousands of Lansing School District students and youth in the greater Lansing area, a woman who continues to raise the bar for educators and students, a woman who will connect you with the decade that we will be celebrating this afternoon. My friend and esteemed colleague, please welcome Ms. Pearl Johnson.
Good afternoon. Okay, hold on. I don't think I'm here by myself. Let's try that again. Good afternoon. Thank you. Make me feel like I was in a class for the first day and the students didn't know who I was and they didn't want to speak to me, so thank you. That made me feel better. And I'm nervous too, so you guys talking back to me also helps. My name is Pearl Johnson, as Gwen just told you. I am a graduate of the 1976 class at Everett High School. We were the bicentennial class. That year, we wore white robes and the boys wore red robes, and we all had to wear these red, white, and blue medallions around our neck. I don't think I've seen that since, so thank God for that. I'd like to begin by thanking LaToya Turner and the Everett High School Hall of Fame Committee for asking me to co-MC this event. It has been a long time, 47 years, since I graced the halls of Everett. And as I walked around, I'm looking like, ooh, things have truly changed. And if some of you were here, like that 75, so on, you remember the social room? Okay, the social room was where we used to meet during lunchtime, and we used to vibe, I don't know if that's the correct word, young people, to the latest tunes and gossip. We used to talk about current events. And it's now the Student Center, as I understand, and now they have offices in there. Everett High School during the 70s, as I remember, was both good and bad. As we know, change is hard for everyone, and one of the biggest changes we had to make was being bused across town to high school instead of being able to walk to high school that was a mile or less from our home. Today, I am focusing on the good. Thank God we came to Everett and was greeted with and blessed with a diverse staff of people who helped us adjust during this transitional time. That was during the busing time. There was Mrs. Bird, Ms. Sprecher, Mrs. Rudd, James Manuel, Big John, Dr. J, Dr. Charles Tucker, just to name a few, and I'm sure some of you have others that you may remember. While we may not have been welcomed by everyone, we started to make our presence known by excelling in the classroom and joining different school clubs and sports teams. In my opinion, the sports helped to bring the student body together. We were doing well in track. How do I know that, or how do I remember that? Because I was on the track team. The sport that I think really brought us together was basketball, both boys and girls. While baseball and swimming, and I'll add track because I ran for the Vikings, helped bring the student body together. I would have to say without a doubt that basketball was the sport that turned things around and really brought us together. From the cheerleaders to the basketball players, everyone was hyped up during the girls and boys seasons. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm related to this person and he happens to be my baby brother, but when Irvin Johnson came to Everett High School, there was a shift in the atmosphere. And after that first year when the team started working together as a team and winning games, you could see and feel the shift. I remember the games being standing room only in the gym, with students and the community coming together to cheer on the Vikings. If you were here during that time, then you should remember that there were games we were only allowed to buy 2 tickets per student. You should remember the time that the boys' basketball game was moved to Jennison Fieldhouse on the Michigan State University campus. It was the Everett versus Eastern game, and they played to a packed house once again. If you were here during that time, you may remember taking the student buses to the away games in different cities. If you were here in the late 70s, you also remember a sad time when we lost our beloved Reggie Chastain. And you remember how the team came together. The next year, they won the state championship against Birmingham Brother Rice. Another great star that accelerated in the late 70s was none other than Evelyn Sweet E. Johnson, my baby sister, right? My baby sister and little sister to Irvin Johnson, Jr. So I'm gonna take a commercial break right here. Of the 10 Johnson kids, there were 10 of us, 6 of us graduated from Everett High School from 1975 through 1979. Of that 6, 5 played basketball and 1 ran track. Kim, Yvonne, and Evelyn were all on the girls' team, so you can imagine having 3 Johnson girls at one time on a team. And Larry had a short stint on the boys' basketball team. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. While playing on the girls' basketball team, coached by Ann Johnson and Mary Warman, Evelyn did something that no other girl at that time had ever done. She scored 56 points in a game, which beat her brother's high-scoring game of 52 points. After graduating, yeah, you can give it up for her. I mean, that was, hey. After graduating from Everett, Evelyn attended the University of South Carolina. I cannot stand here and talk about basketball in the 70s and not mention the 1977 boys state championship team. Yeah. Okay. While I don't remember all of them, I do know they came together and played as a team to win that championship trophy. All the great accomplishments of this team would not be possible with good coaches like George Fox, may he rest in peace, and Pat Holland. As I said earlier, being bused was good and bad, but we wouldn't trade it for anything. Once a Viking, always a Viking. Thank you.
I can't even imagine that life, that home environment. I can't imagine, and I shudder to think what the grocery bill looked like. But that's all right. Well, here to share in this momentous occasion is a very familiar face in Lansing area. He's a businessman who is literally an advisor to the stars. Having been an advisor to Irvin Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, Steve Smith, Mateen Cleaves, and many, many others. He also has worked in the Lansing School District and has private practice as a psychologist and as a freelance psychological consultant. He began and still runs hugely successful youth basketball camps on campuses for youth and is known and respected everywhere for his candor and caring manner, his attention to the whole individual, and for his business savvy. I read an article as I was trying to figure out what to say in introducing this person. And this article quoted MSU past head basketball coach Judd Heathcote saying, "I had one friend in basketball, one person I could trust, and that was Dr. Tucker." Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, please, Dr. Charles Tucker.
Yeah, thank you for all those lines. So we'll get started here. This is to this incredible Hall of Fame class of 20 and 23. I salute you and congratulate you for your success and your achievement. I know it wasn't easy. A lot of people think that you get up in the morning and be a star, but that's not true. Blood, sweat, and tears, hard work, night and day. I understand that. And that's why you people are sitting there. But the main reason you're sitting there because somebody helped you get to that point. And those people is here. The parents, the friends, the teachers, the community, coaches, superintendent. We have a superintendent of school now, Ben. I don't know whether he's here or not. He's doing so much now to try to develop this system back where we can have more Hall of Famers to come through by developing programs and stuff like that. I want to say a couple of things about these people, then I'll be on my way. I had some indirect contact with probably everybody up there. And I look at this list per program. One of the person that I know she got to go because she got a party to go to. And we was in the same location last night. We both was at the Michigan Hall of Fame banquet in Detroit. And her name was called, my name was called, but she is here tonight. It's amazing. We was together last night, and she's here tonight. She had two people to go into the Michigan Hall of Fame that she coached. Now she going into the Hall of Fame. And I know that she's going to be leaving. I just want to give her that remarks. Coach Hutt, will you stand up, please? Coach Hutt is, by the way, she went to Everett. Something I don't understand. She went to Everett. I was counseling. Then she went to Michigan State, made All-American. I was teaching at Michigan State. Then she goes to Michigan. I don't understand that. Not only do she go to Michigan, but she get them a national championship, you know. And now she's rated as the top 5 softball coach in the history of the game. Isn't that amazing? Give her a hand. So I just want to say that because I know she got to go back up to that other school. So, yeah. But congratulations to you, and for also putting 2 players into the Hall of Fame. And we have that type of class. Bruce, stand up, please. I was here when Bruce was here, and then Bruce went to the pros, and he didn't speak no more after that. So he went to the pros. So he went to the pros, not only play, but coach. But when I went into the Hall of Fame with one of the best baseball players in the world, Derek Jeter, about 5 years ago, and I say, I know Bruce Field. Bruce was so well respected till he was just applauded because he was very recognized and respected in coaching and playing. You have some of the greatest players like Derek Jeter, who was from Kalamazoo, where I'm from, and we both went into the Hall of Fame, and he had high remarks and grace for you. So we are very happy to see you in this Hall of Fame. George Fox is not here. To the family, give you my condolences to a great guy and a great coach. And also his sidekick, Pat Holland. When Magic and most of these guys, Dale Beard, Shoe, everybody, Tony, everybody came to Everett, well, that's a little different then, because they came and most of them didn't want to be here at that time. But George Fox was very smart, I tell the family that. It was before his time. But what George and Pat did, they said, let's try to figure out how this thing works. Coaching have to be able to adjust. George Fox was good because he was a good guy, but he was great in coaching because he knew how to adjust. He called me into a meeting once, he said, tell me, how can I get Magic to stop thinking that he have to score every basket? I know, every basket.
Go ahead,
Okay.
finish up this one.
Every basket. I said, well, make him point guard. Then he have to pass the ball. And that was simple. So he did that. But since I'm going to sit down, Evelyn Johnson was shooting three-pointers before it came into play. Evelyn, I did not ever play you because you were beating Magic and some of the other guys, and I couldn't live that down that you had to beat me. A great player. And I give honor to one person other than being the superintendent, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson was with me. He's gone now. I give him that praise. He was with me through a lot of the trials and things that I was trying to do for athletes, so I want to give him applause.
Thank you.
When you're large and in charge, it's hard to give a person 2 minutes and have them stick to it, and we knew that, so we padded it a little bit, okay? So I'm going to ask Dr. Tucker to come back up and introduce our next speaker, Superintendent Bill Scholdiner. Two minutes.
Well, this guy I'm introducing, he talk more than me. Ben, let's give him a hand. He have did a lot for the school.
Good afternoon, everyone. In Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer he watches his own funeral, and he's really curious about what other people say about him. Sorry, Huck Finn does. And it was amazing to know that Tuck said those nice things without knowing if I was here or not. So that's really terrific. My name is Ben Scholdiner. I'm the superintendent of schools here, and I hope that every single one of you looks around this room to see a new auditorium, to see a new part of a building, to see a new school district. Some amazing and wonderful things are happening around here, and I just want to say thank you, because we couldn't do any of this without the history and legacy of all of the people that came before. It is amazing to know the history of Everett and the great things that have happened, but it's also amazing to know that this is just the first inaugural class. That's incredible that we're going to be creating these new traditions, and I just want to say congratulations to all of you, that I can't wait for us to do into year 2 and year 3 and fill this entire room with people that see greatness in Everett and in Lansing. I have to, as superintendent, love all of my high schools equally, so I will actually have to leave to go to see the Sexton football game, to come back to see the Everett football game, but just know how much I appreciate being here. I'm not from here, I'm from New York. I moved here 2 years ago to be here, to be part of Lansing, and I cannot tell you how warm and friendly and embracing this community has been. And so for all of you who haven't been back in a while, please stay. Please have a relationship with us. We want to open this school district back up to the amazing people that came before. Tutor, mentor, just come watch a game, because great things are happening in the Lansing School District. Just 2 quick things. In the last 2 years, we've raised the graduation rate by 12 points in the whole district. In 1 year, we've raised the attendance rate by 5%, which is basically unheard of. And this year, maybe, we will see, we might have actually increased enrollment for the first time in a generation. It's amazing what's happening here, and we want all of you to be part of this incredible success. So thank you for having me here. Thank you for embracing me as a new Lansingite, and congratulations to all of you for the incredible things that you've done for our community. Have a good night.
All right, what we all came for. The inaugural inductees for Everett High School Hall of Fame 2023 are, and I'm going to ask my cohort, Pearl Johnson, to come up and introduce to you Carol Hutchins.
Carol Hutchins, a multi-sport athlete. Carol participated in track and I'm gonna start all over again, okay? That's what a good teacher does. I made a mistake, so we're gonna start over. Carol Hutchins, a multi-sport athlete. Carol participated in sports and their team was all-city champions. Carol was an all-city basketball player for the Vikings from 1973 to 1975. She averaged 21 points per game during her senior season. Woo, okay. During her senior season and won a Class A district championship. Carol excelled on the softball field, playing for the Lansing Lassies. That team was a member of the Fast Pitch Laurels of Michigan, Ohio Women's Softball League. Upon graduating from Everett, she went on to play basketball and softball at Michigan State University. Carol followed that with a storied coaching career, highlighted by her time as coach at the University of Michigan. Her tenure as coach there included a record of over 1,700 wins and 551 losses. The 2005 National Championship, 22 Big Ten regular season, and 10 Big Ten titles, among many other amazing accomplishments. Join me in welcoming Carol Hutchins.
Well, this picture is me as a basketball player at Michigan State, and because when I played here at Everett, we didn't have photography yet, because I am a senior citizen. I could not be more honored and proud to be here today, to be in the inaugural Hall of Fame at Everett High School. I think it's fantastic, and special thanks to LaToya Turner and the whole committee. And it's my honor, as we're all honored together, to be in this class together. And I know I've got a little bit mixed background, and I've lived in Ann Arbor for over 40 years, but I am really proud of my life and my beginnings here in Lansing, Michigan. I'm a very proud Lansingite, and very proud to be part of Everett High School. Some of my best friends for life, who most of them I actually met in either grade school or at Walter French Junior High School, but we are still friends for life, and we had an amazing group of people here when I was in high school, and we have stayed longtime friends. We call ourselves the Golden Friends. But I have to say that it's most interesting as we begin this, and I didn't play softball here at Everett High School. We didn't have softball, and we didn't have varsity athletics for the young women, girls, until my senior year. We didn't get to do some of the things that Magic got to do, but we had tremendous people, and one of them is here today, Ann Johnson, who went out of her way, would stay after school and give us opportunities to play basketball, which was my first love. We had GAA, which was like girls' athletic activities. We would all get into her car, which was a Mustang, and she put the whole team in it and take us over to Sexton High School, sometimes to Eastern High School, and we had fierce rivalries. But we didn't have uniforms. We didn't have a schedule. We played somewhere between 5 and 8 games a year, and I thought we'd died and gone to heaven. We wore pennies to play in, which if you know what a penny is, you take it off, and it's all sweaty, and then you put it on the next day. And we had masking tape for numbers. So in high school, I always wanted to be number 11 because it's really easy to mask onto your penny. But then it wasn't, as we all know about the passage of Title IX, which passed in 72. I graduated in 75. And it was landmark legislation. Largely, the intention was to give women opportunities in higher education. Because back in those days, only 30% of women were represented in college, period. Less than 10% were faculty, and less than 5% were in the STEM fields. And what we found, not me, I already knew it, was that women were most underrepresented in athletics. And the opportunities started flowing. My senior year, we had a varsity basketball team. We got uniforms. We had a full schedule. We had cheerleaders. We had buses. It was amazing. It was the highlight of all of it. But I will tell you this, I've gone on, I knew my senior year of high school that I wanted to be a coach. And I ended up coaching. I never left college, as my mom would say. I've been in athletics my whole life. And it's because of one reason only. And Ann Johnson was our coach. She was my coach. She's my longtime mentor. And she gave me what I needed most at the most turbulent time in your life, when you're a high school kid. She gave me direction. She gave me guidance. She gave me belief. And she said, you get your shit together because you're going to go to college and you're going to be great. And I never wanted to disappoint Ann Johnson. And I can tell you that you're the greatest gift to my life. And I am everywhere I've been my whole life because of Ann Johnson. So I love you. I appreciate all of you. We got 2 minutes, guys. Forever go Vikings.
All right. 2 minutes is really hard, folks. 2 minutes, because you get wrapped up in the stories. This is a selection of extraordinary people who've had many, many experiences, and there's something to learn and garner from each and every one of them. And when you listen to them talk, it's so exciting that you get wrapped up in it. But 2 minutes, 2 minutes. All right. I would like to bring up, for 2 minutes, Dr. Tucker, who will receive the award for Dean Look. Dean was a 4-sport athlete at Everett. He excelled in football, basketball, baseball, and track. Dean was all-city and all-state in football. In 1956, he set the track and field Class C pole vault record at 12 feet 6 inches. During his years at Everett, he went on to play quarterback at Michigan State University. In 1959, he was named an All-American by the Football Writers Association. He was drafted by the Denver Broncos in 1960, but decided to play baseball. He played briefly for the Chicago White Sox in 1961. He went on to have a 29-year career as an NFL referee. He signaled the catch in 1982 and was assigned to 3 Super Bowls, 1979, 1981, and 1993. Please welcome again Dr. Tucker, who will receive his award.
Pearl told me all I got to do is say thank you and keep it moving. So I'm going to keep it moving because she is the boss. Dean, I'm very close to Dean because Dean was one of the most powerful. What a class was this here. Dean was one of the most powerful person in football. Football, as we know, is the #1 sports on Sunday. And it's just the most powerful sport. Dean controlled that whole league for 20 years. And people that know Dean and know football, you know what I'm talking about. I had some run-in with Dean because I had 5 or 6 players, and 2 of them was in the Pro Bowl in '93. Thurman Thomas with the Buffalo Bills, and he gave Thurman a text, so we had to talk about that. But Dean was very powerful. I love the guy. He's very good, and he's very powerful in football now. So anybody that wants football tickets, since Dean ain't here, and since Magic's not here, Magic owns football, baseball, and basketball, and Mrs. Johnson and Dale Beard and Larry all have daily contact with him. Tell we want all tickets free.
Now y'all see why I told Tucker 2 minutes. Thank you, Dr. Tucker. Our next honoree is Dine Burrell. Dine was a highly decorated swimmer for the Vikings. She won Class A state championships in the 50-yard freestyle in 1982 and 1984. Dine repeated as Class A state champion in 1983 and 1984 in the 100-yard freestyle. She was the 1983 Class A state champion in the 200-yard freestyle and was named a high school All-American in 1982, 1983, and 1984. Dine was also named the Michigan High School Athlete of the Year in 1984. Following her career as a Viking, Dine went on to swim at Michigan State. While there, she was an All-American in the 200-yard freestyle relay in 1986. In 1987, a Big Ten champion in the 200-yard freestyle relay and garnered all Big Ten honors. Dine transferred to the University of Miami, where she was a Metro Conference champion in 1989 and 1990. She went on to be a USA Olympic Trials qualifier in 1988 and 1992. World University gained silver medalist in 1991 and Masters national champion in 1995. Let's give a round of applause to Dane Burrell.
Well, Dr. Tucker is right about one thing. This is a journey that you do not do alone. And I would like to start out by thanking my coaches who are here today in their Hawaiian shirts and their on-deck coaching shirts, Ron Polanski and John Bullock. I can't thank you enough for your involvement in my life at that time. There's a lot of ups and downs when you're going through the process, and they gave you permission to be strong and permission to be weak, to be mad, to be happy, and everything in between. And I truly don't believe that I would have had the successes that I had without you guys on deck. So thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank my family. They got me to the morning practices. They fed me. We had a household full of swimmers, and they were at my swim meets, and their support was invaluable. It didn't matter if I had a good swim or not. They were there for me, and I'll forever be thankful for that. I'd like to thank the committee for getting this off the ground. I know it's a lot of work, and I think it's long overdue. It's nice to have this kind of a family class reunion, and I hope it goes on for a long, long time. Congratulations to all the inductees. I hope, my wish is that we are going to inspire present and future generation of athletes here at Everett to achieve the successes that we were able to achieve. So thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Ronnie Becker. Ronnie was a member of the wrestling team at Everett. 1965, he went 24-1. He won an individual MHSAA wrestling championship in that same year, which helped propel the Vikings to a team state championship. Following his time at Everett, he went on to wrestle at Western Michigan University. While there, Ronnie became the first wrestler from the state to qualify for NCAA wrestling at 154 pounds in 1970. He took third in the MAC conference. Ronnie went on to win Coach of the Year awards, produce 10 individual state champions, and a win team state championship as the wrestling coach at Sexton High School. He has volunteered his time to coach and mentor in the Lansing area all wrestlers for these years. Welcome, please, Ronnie Becker.
They just told me 2 minutes. Every coach that sets out here knows that 2 minutes is never under 4. It doesn't happen. I used to run 2-minute drills in practice, and half hour after I started, the kids would ask me if I started the clock. So 2 minutes is kind of hard to agree to. First of all, I'd like to thank all the young people and the ladies and Evelyn and LaToya for all their fantastic work on putting this together. Had many conversations with LaToya on the phone. She's a sweetheart and does a marvelous job. I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees here, my teammates, and all the other individuals. Many, many people in my life to thank who got me where I'm at. They say it takes a town to make you grow and become a champion, and that's probably pretty much what I had. My family sits over here, sisters, my son, my daughter, some very good friends who have been with me all my life and supported me. All the coaches and mentors I had, starting with George Harlow in junior high school, the coaches I had through high school, a special guest over here, Mr. Jim Stiles, who was a volunteer coach when I was here, and after I graduated and went to Western, he became an assistant coach. And I was fortunate enough later when I started coaching at Sexton that he transferred over there from Everett and was a counselor there, and assisted me in the room and helped out with the young kids. And he's been a mentor most of my life. And it's been appreciated and been fantastic for me. Mr. Jerry Cushman, who was my coach as a sophomore and junior, fantastic man, ended up being superintendent of schools up in Greenville. And John Rollins was coach my senior year. And once again, I thank my teammates, because you don't become a champion without a group of teammates. They make you what you are. Going to practice was harder than going to meets. We had 5 Division I wrestlers off that team, Michigan State, Michigan, Western Michigan. There was no picnic in that room. And that's what makes you great, is the teammates. And one of the good things about today and being honored, it's a home thing. This is where you grew up. You know, I'm a Lansing boy. I coached and taught in Kentucky for 3 years and had a great time down there. But when I had the opportunity to come back here, there was no question. It's just a fantastic honor to be here and honored by your home people. Again, I'd like to thank everybody, and hope you all have a great rest of your life, and that you can continue to give to young people. Bruce and I had a great opportunity this morning to speak to a bunch of athletes here at Everett, and that's what it's all about. And again, I'd like to thank all the committee and the people who put this together, and I'm greatly honored. Thank you.
This next honoree, I am privileged to be able to call her my baby sister. And when you have 2 in your family that are being honored, you can't help but have to get one of them that you have to introduce. And so I'm happy to be able to introduce this next person, Evelyn Sweet E. Johnson. Yes, right, give it up. Evelyn was an elite basketball player on the girls' team at Everett. She scored 1,762 points during her 3-year seasons on the team. Evelyn was named to the All-Capital Area Conference and All-Metro basketball team 3 times. She was a 2-time All-State basketball team member and held the Lansing City scoring record for a single game with 56 points. The Vikings went 52-7 during her 3 years on varsity and made the Class A semifinals during her senior year. Upon leaving Everett, she went on to have more success on the court at the University of South Carolina. While there, she scored 1,620 points and remains the 10th all-time leading scorer for the Gamecocks. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Evelyn Sweet E. Johnson.
Thank you. I am humbled and honored to be amongst the first class of inductees into Everett High School's inaugural Sports Hall of Fame. I want to thank LaToya Turner, the Lansing Everett High School Sports Hall of Fame Committee, for establishing this institute and for acknowledging all of the inductees for their athletic contributions to Viking Nation. As I thought about what I would say this evening, the word team came into mind. I realized that no one acquires any level of success without a team of individuals supporting them. So I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank and accept this installation on behalf of all the people who have been instrumental in developing me into the basketball player I was and into the person that I am today. First, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without him, nothing that I've done in my life would have been possible. Second, I want to thank my parents, Christina and Everett Johnson Sr., all 9 of my siblings, for just loving me, supporting me, guiding me, encouraging me, and for being the best family I could ever have. Third, my coaches, Ann Johnson, Mary Warman, and all the players that I played with from 1976 to 1979. This is the team of people who helped me to hone my skills and to harness them so that I could be one of the best basketball players that I could be. Ann Johnson, I see you out there. I love you, and thank you so much. Last but not least, I want to thank my West Side Main Street Elementary School friends and community, West Side. This is where I started and where I fell in love with the game of basketball. So on behalf of myself and of my support team, I thank you for this induction. Thank you.
We're telling them 2 minutes, and Tucker's telling them, do what you do. I would like to introduce Bruce Fields. Bruce was a 2-year starter in both baseball and basketball. He was a member of the 1977 boys basketball state championship team. Bruce excelled on the baseball diamond, where he was named an all-star player by the Associated Press in 1978. His .530 batting average was the highest among the all-starters. Bruce was also the headline player on the All-Metro team in 1978. Bruce was drafted by the Detroit Tigers and playing in their minor league system 3 days after he graduated from Everett High School. Wow. He played 3 years of Major League Baseball with stints on the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners teams. Bruce went on to have an illustrious coaching career that included winning Midwest League Manager of the Year twice with the West Michigan Whitecaps. Welcome, please, Bruce Fields.
Thank you. Congratulations. Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting this. This is nice. I want to thank everyone that's involved with the committee in my selection, in our selection. I was going to try and get through this without shedding a tear. But the person that meant the most was my mother. And she passed away 3 years ago. So she can't see this. But because of her, I had the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. She gave me the decision. She let me have the decision to play professionally. And I had no idea what I was getting involved in. But once I started my journey in baseball, I was going to commit to getting to the major leagues, and that's what my goal was. I'll tell you a quick story. Ron and I were talking to the kids today. Jake Boss, who was another important person in my life, took me and my mother, my brother, to a tryout at Tiger Stadium. Mark Kozlowski asked me, how did this come about? How did you get drafted? Baseball chose me, Mark. Baseball chose me. So Jake takes me down to the Tiger Stadium. I go try out. I had to run a 60, throw from center, and then I had to hit. I hit for 20 minutes. Dick Trzaskowski threw me BP. My hands were bleeding when I was done. They said, hey, kid, we love you. We're going to draft you. We're going to get you about the 6th round. We got another guy that's coming out. We want you to hang out and wait and shag when he comes. Wait 15 minutes. They say, all right, now you can go out to the outfield. In walks Kirk Gibson. So Gibby comes in, stretches, gets loose, just hits. No 60, no throwing, just hits. He's hitting the ball, and I'm out in the outfield. He's breaking seats in Tiger Stadium. Wood chips are falling on my head, and I'm like, oh my God. This is my competition. Long story short, it took him 2 years. It took me 8 to get to the major leagues. But I persevered through all the trials and tribulations that come your way as an athlete that Ron and I were talking about, because you are thrown curves along your journey in pro sports especially. I withstood it, and I was allowed to cross in the threshold and become a major league player. Albeit it was parts of 3 years, I regret nothing. I have no regrets, loved my journey. It allowed me to coach. I coached some of the best players, been around some of the most unbelievable baseball players you could possibly be. Jim Thome, Al Kaline, Willie Horton is a mentor to me. You know, just some of the Tiger greats, some baseball greats. Junior, Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez were my teammates. So my journey in this sport has been remarkable, and it's allowed me to travel the world and meet some remarkable people. And then with that, I just want to thank everyone that was involved, especially, like I said, Coach Boss, who was more of a father figure than anything, and a coach, but he was a big part of my life. He was there when my son was born, and he means a lot to me, him and his family. So again, thanks to the committee. Congratulations, everyone. Again, I miss my mother. I wish she was here to see this, but thank you. Thank you for everything.
Next, we'd like to honor the 1965 wrestling team. The 1965 wrestling team scored 47 points to win the Class A state championship. It was a victory made sweeter because they beat Sexton by 4 points, avenging a regional loss to the team known at the time as the Big Reds. Pete Cornell, who went 24-0 at 165 pounds, and Ron Becker at 154 pounds, pulled out narrow victories to win individual state championships. According to an article published in the Lansing State Journal, Coach John Rollins predicted that this team would win a state title. With an amazing team effort, they proved him right. They were inducted into the Greater Lansing Sports Hall of Fame in 2010. Speaking on behalf of the 1965 wrestling team, please welcome John Doham. And while he's coming, I'd just like to introduce some of the other members. If you can just raise your hand if you're here. The members of the team were Frank Baldwin, Don Banks, Ronnie Becker, Steve Carter, Denny Corey, Pete Cornell, Jim Foster, Dave Greenaw, Larry Hillard, Brian Johnson, Greg Johnson, Arno Keaton, John Legg, Mike Long, Pat Mercer, Kim Pettit, Tim Pizzo, John Snyder, Bill Sump, Denny Zimmer, and head coach John Rollins. So speaking on behalf of the team is John Doham. I don't know if I said your name right.
Good evening. They've asked me to speak for the wrestling team and do it under 2 minutes, which shouldn't be too difficult because I got the least to brag about. I probably learned more about life than I did wrestling being on this team. Watching my classmates and teammates compete, listening to their attitude. And I think everybody in this group can agree with me, a lot of it's attitude. You can't be a champion if you think you're the worst one out there. A lot of people think they're the best and perhaps aren't, but you can't be a winner if you don't think you are. I've listened to these guys so many times talk about the next guy they're going to compete against, and I'm going to kick his butt. I learned a lot from that attitude. Because the one time I did wrestle senior year, the first fellow that walked out there on the mat, and I looked at him and I said, I'm going to get my butt kicked. Fortunately, being a Viking, I beat him. But attitude is such a big part of sports wrestling in particular, but all sports. And I think my mother and father competed here at Everett. And it was a shame that the girls' sports were taken out when they were, for what reason, I don't know. Because my mother played softball, basketball, and was a cheerleader. So I think it's great that we've got the women's sports now. But as far as the wrestling team is concerned, take an example of Greg Johnson. Greg wrestled 95 in high school. I wrestled 154. He was a sophomore, I was a senior. He grabbed me after practice one day and he says, "Can you stay after practice?" I said, "Sure, why?" He said, "I want you to work out with me." Greg, there's about a 60-pound difference in our weight here. He said, "Yeah, I know," but he says, "I want you to just lay on me. Put your weight on me. Keep me down. Keep pounding on me. And I want to work against your weight." And this is an attitude thing. Greg was a 2-time state champion here, 3-time national champion at Michigan State. He's just an example of what we had on that team. You've heard about Ron and his accomplishments. John Schneider at 180, placed 3rd in the Nationals at MSU. Pete Cornell at 165 was 2nd in the nation. So we had some top competitors, top personalities as well, people that have accomplished a lot in life. And I think sports is just a supreme element in life that you have to have. Teach you all about life. What is life? How do you get your butt kicked day in and day out and stay into it? Keep working hard, because it makes you a better person. So, I don't know about the time.
I don't know. People think I'm the bad guy, but really, I'm just trying to get the people who have dinner reservations to get there on time. So I'm going to blame them if they don't. Next, I would like to introduce Dale Beard, who will speak on behalf of the 1977 boys basketball team. The 1977 boys basketball team had a Gandy record of 27-1. They avenged their one loss with a 63-41 win over Eastern in the districts. The team that followed that up by steamrolling Howell, Battle Creek, and Ypsilanti on the road to the semifinals. They scored 48-40 victory over Saginaw in the semifinals, which led to the state championship game. In front of a big crowd at Chrysler Arena, they defeated Birmingham Brother Rice, 62-57, to win the Class A boys basketball state championship. The team was inducted into the Greater Lansing Sports Hall of Fame in 2012. Please welcome the representatives from that team. Dale Beard, who will speak in a moment, Tony Daniel, Paul Dawson, Bruce Fields, Dean Hartley, Jamie Huffman, Larry Hunter, Irvin Magic Johnson, Mark Koslowski, James Lauderdale, Phil Rogers, Leon Stokes, head coach George Fox, assistant coach Pat Holland, and the managers Eric Hartley and Jeff Cheadle.
Good afternoon. Well, I was hoping when I left home today that I wouldn't bring my grocery list because I wrote two lists out last night. I was hoping, man, I hope I don't bring the grocery list because I won't remember this stuff. But first of all, I want to thank the committee, LaToya, and all the great things you did for these inductees. It's really an honor and pleasure to be here today, to be able to speak for my teammates in this great Hall of Fame. I guess I was going to introduce these, my guys, but looks like Miss Lady introduced them for me, but I'm going to introduce them anyway. All right, my great teammates. I want to thank my great teammates. Starting with Mr. Bruce Fields. He's great teammates, man. These guys really went to battle. We all went to battle. 2-3 years straight. We still go around town, and people still, even though we don't have the afros and the sideburns and all that, you just say the names, and they oh, you played on the 77 team. Yeah, we were one of them. Tony Daniels, also was, great contributor. All these guys were contributors, but let's go down the line. Leon Stokes, Mark Kozlowski, Phil Rogers, Dean Hartley, Larry Hunter, Paul Dawson, Irvin, James Lauderdale. We just, really had great times back then. Again, someone mentioned earlier that, we had tickets. I found an old ticket actually one day when I was moving. I can't believe the tickets were $1.50, man. I was like, wow, whew. Things have changed. Also, I would like to thank a couple of my childhood friends. Hopefully they're here, Preston Smith and Ricky Adams. If you guys can stand up for me if you're here. I appreciate it. There's Preston over here. Yeah, that's my guy, Big Press. All right. Rick, there's Rick over here. Rick, why ain't y'all sitting together, man? Yeah, come on, man. I called you at the same time. Come on, man. Again, yeah, these guys were inspirational in my life, man. We've been together since the second grade, and I really appreciate those guys. Also, I want to mention a guy who got me coaching high school basketball. When I came into getting coaching, wanted to coach, I want to give Desmond Ferguson, my man over here, Moneyball. I want to give him all. Stand up, Des. Come on, man. And last but not least, I want to thank my two beautiful sisters, Mary and Ruthie. You guys stand up. They've been inspirational. I love you guys dearly. And so I guess, my grocery list is on here. I guess it's on two of them. But I want to thank everyone again for this wonderful achievement and all the other inductees that were inducted into the 2023 Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Our next inductee is no longer with us, and so we're going to ask Marcel Carruthers to come up, and he will be speaking on her behalf, and he is a principal of Eastern High School. Cindy Short. Along with being a teacher at Everett, Cindy coached girls basketball and softball. She moved into the athletic director role and had an impactful tenure. During her time as AD, the Viking girls basketball team were the state runner-up in 1999 before winning back-to-back state championships in 2000 and 2001. In 2004, the boys basketball team won their first state championship since 1977. The football team also saw a resurgence that led to multiple trips to the playoffs. Cindy was beloved by many students, athletes, and staff that came in contact with her during her time at Everett. So receiving this award on her behalf is Principal Marcel Carruthers.
Good evening, and congratulations to all the inductees. I see some faces out in the audience who I used to read about, played against, coached with, Mr. Kozlowski. So it's really an honor. I spent 18 years here at Everett High School, so this is a second home to me. It is an honor and a privilege to receive this award on behalf of Ms. Cindy Short. If you'd afford me a short time, 2 minutes to be exact. In football, we have a 2-minute drill, so I think I'm drilled with this, everyone, so I think I'm okay. There are a few things I would like to share with you about Ms. Short. Ms. Short was more than just an athletic director. She was a cornerstone of Everett school identity. Her love for sports was second to none, and it extended far beyond the scoreboard. She understood that athletics had the power to unite us, teach us valuable life lessons, and shape our character. Under Ms. Short's leadership, Lansing Everett's athletic program became synonymous with excellence. Conference championships, state championships, numerous academic all-state honors, and she was recognized by her colleagues as the State of Michigan Athletic Director of the Year. Her unwavering commitment to our student athletes was an inspiration to us all. Ms. Short believed in the potential of every student, regardless of their background or abilities, and she had incredible gifts for nurturing that talent. In closing, for those of you who knew Ms. Short, let us cherish her moments and memories we share with her and carry forward her spirit with pride and dignity. For those who never had a chance to meet Ms. Short, she was a beloved member of the Lansing Everett family. She had an infectious enthusiasm that spread throughout the school community. Whether she was rallying our teams, cheering from the sideline, or offering words of encouragement to students in need, Ms. Short always put students first. This is an amazing honor for Ms. Short, and thank you to the Everett family for recognizing this phenomenal individual and her accomplishments. Good luck this evening, and go Vikings.
We're going to ask Gary Fox to make his way up. Is he here? Was it Gary? Oh, okay. Our next honoree is Coach George Fox. Right. Yeah. Coach Fox was the head coach of the Vikings boys basketball team from 1970 to 1979. His team had a record of 143 wins and 61 losses during that time. From that record came 5 league, 5 district, and 4 regional titles. He led the 1977 team to the state championship. That victory made Fox the first person in the state history of Michigan to win a state championship as a player and coach. Let's give it up for Coach George Fox.
On behalf of my dad and the Fox family, I'd like to thank the committee for his honor. I did smile when I saw that the speakers get 2 minutes to talk. Had my father been here, I would have liked to see how that played out. I'm pretty sure we would have missed dinner, quite possibly the kickoff. My dad was the ultimate people person. He met a lot of great friends here at Everett, the staff, students, fellow coaches, and especially his players. They had a special place in his heart. All the Everett people really did. In the allotted time, I couldn't possibly name even a tenth of the people from Everett he considered his friend. He recalled his years here by people. He told stories, and he told good ones. And it was never the 72 squad or the 77. It was always the kids. He would name the players by name. In closing, I would like to acknowledge one person that gets a huge assist in the success of Everett basketball and in this award, Pat Holland. Pat was his assistant and his JV coach and was a perfect fit for what my dad was trying to accomplish. So thank you, Pat, for the work that you did, and especially for being a great friend for many years. Thank you very much, and go Vikings.
Thank you. Can I give you a hug? Thank you so much. We love you, Dad.
Yes. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the final inductee who unfortunately could not make it this evening in person. But there's always that one person who can do something and do it differently, but with lots of style. Irvin Magic Johnson. Irvin earned his nickname Magic after a triple-double during his sophomore year as a Viking and was a member of the 1977 boys basketball state championship team. He was named Mr. Basketball for the state of Michigan in 1977 and was a two-time member of the All-State team. Irvin was also named to the 1977 McDonald and Parade High School All-American teams. After his time at Everett, everyone waited for the decision of if he would attend University of Michigan or Michigan State University. Deciding to stay local, go green, go white, he went on to win a national championship at Michigan State University. Irvin followed that with an illustrious NBA career, winning 5 world championships, 3 MVPs, and an Olympic gold medal. Please, Irvin Magic Johnson.
Hello, everybody. I just want to thank the committee who selected my Everett High School boys basketball team, which we won the state championship. You're putting us in the Hall of Fame at Everett High School, and I'm just so happy about that. I wish, though, our superstar coach could be here with us. He just passed away, and George Fox, prayers to him and his family. But also I want to thank also the assistant coach, Pat Holland. What they did was they molded us to be a championship team. We executed on offense. We played great defense. We had some superstar players. Some of them are there tonight. And if it hadn't been for Larry Hunter, Paul Dawson, Dale Beard, and Jamie Huffman, when Jamie transferred to Everett, that's when I knew we had a championship team. So Jamie, thank you. Then I want to thank and congratulate all of the other honorees. This is a special moment for them and their families as well. So congratulations. And then to Sweet E, my sister, Evelyn Johnson. When you think about the Johnson family, she was the best basketball player of everybody. She was also, in girls basketball, in her 11th grade year, she was the best in the state. Her senior year, she was the best in the state, but also one of the best in the country. She broke my city record in scoring. I mean, Evelyn Johnson could play basketball, triple-double threat every single night. So, sweetheart, congratulations. You know I love you. And just everybody have a magical, magical evening. Congratulations to everybody, and God bless.
Receiving his award this evening is, she has it in her hand, Pearl Johnson.
He already said thank you to everyone. I just want to take this opportunity to recognize my mom and my brothers and sisters. Can you just stand up? Dale started it, so. So on behalf of Irvin, I accept this award. Thank you, everyone, and thank the committee for nominating him.
Those 2 minutes do work. We have the distinct pleasure of acknowledging this year's chairperson, LaToya Janae Turner. When she was here at Everett, you can give her a hand because this young woman has done an amazing job to pull all of this together. When she was here at Everett, she was a cheerleader, class president, and held countless other leadership positions. She spearheaded the girls' basketball championship dedication in July of 2022. And from that, she collaborated with and came together with a dedicated committee of alumni who have established this lifetime Everett High School Sports Hall of Fame. I've witnessed her firsthand hard work and commitment to excellence and accuracy. Latoya, is she here? Come on up here. Come on up here. I personally commend you for a job well done at a labor of love. Okay? We have a very special halftime presentation for her, so I hope you are all planning to come to the game this evening. She deserves this. I am just so pleased to have been able to work with her and with her committee. Will the committee members who are, they're all over? Will all the committee members please stand? And please give them a round of applause for a job very well done.
So as we're thanking people, on behalf of all of the inductees, we would like to take this opportunity to thank the Sodexo Magic staff for all of their hard work and the time they have put in to make this event a success. Are there any Sodexo members in the audience? If you are, please stand so we can just recognize you. Oh, they just walked out, so anyway, let's just give it up for Sodexo. So as you enjoy the meal, just tell them thank you and let them know that we appreciate them.
We want to thank and acknowledge the past and present Everett staff and administration for their dedication to educating and nurturing our youth. Would all past and present administration and staff please raise your hand or stand so we may applaud you. We would be remiss if we did not acknowledge the past and present Lansing School Board members. Would you please stand? Nino, I see you.
And there's, is that Robin Smith?
Robin? And there's no way we can move forward without recognizing past athletes in all of the sports who have shared in the support, encouragement, camaraderie, and glory of the lost ties and wins over the years. Will all Everett past and present athletes please stand and allow us to applaud you? Excellent, excellent. Pearl? I think we've come to the end of the first third of today's events. It's been great. The facilities are wonderful. If you have not had a chance to take a look at what has happened at Everett High School, you need to take time to do that. Marvelous facility. The vision for what this building and staff can and are doing was and is outstanding. We've enjoyed our time with you, and at this time, we would like to guide our inductees who are on stage and their families to the dinner so that we won't clog up and so that things will move smoothly if you will allow them to leave first. And here come our guides. That'll be great. And then after that, anyone who is registered for dinner, if you would just fall in line behind them and go down to the cafeteria, and if you haven't seen it yet, you're in for a big surprise, okay? And then after that, I would like to remind those who are not joining us for dinner that you are more than welcome, and we encourage you to join us at tonight's football game, which actually is going to start in about 15 minutes. Join us at the football game, and at halftime, we will once again acknowledge our inductees. Can we give a round of applause for all the inductees and families? Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It has truly been our pleasure to be here hosting with you. Amen.